I've just spoken to the police. I would rip that out of your hand, but they would arrest me. So that's the only reason.
Good. I'm glad.
Hello, I'm Cameron Walker, and you're watching a very special edition of GBN YouTube here in Lancaster Castle. And you may have noticed this very special plaque behind me detailing how in 2015 the late Queen Elizabeth II visited here as Duke of Lancaster. Now, of course, today King Charles was visiting here, his first visits to Lancashire as monarch, and of course, the new Duke of Lancaster. So here are some of the highlights, including some Republican protesters clashing with lots and lots of pro-monarchy well-wishers, and some amazing cheeses. Take a look.
We got here at 8, didn't we? We got here at 8.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's quite early because the King arrived, a few hours after that. So what is it about the royal family that you love, and the fact that King is here in Lancaster?
Everything about them. I think they're a wonderful asset to our country, and they show the best of British.
Absolutely. And, thank you. And you've got this rose.
We've both got roses.
You've both got roses.
Yes, the red rose of Lancashire to greet him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Are you hoping to give it to him?
We are.
And
certainly.
what do you hope you will get to say to him if he does come and greet you?
To wish him good health.
Yeah, because of course he's
to
been.
wish all the royal family good health and happiness.
Of course, he's been suffering a bit, hasn't he, at the moment?
Yes. Yes.
And what do you hope he gets to see in Lancaster? Why is this such a great city?
Well, we have the castle, of course, which we love. And the city of Lancaster, we've lived here all our lives. And it's just a wonderful place. We're all very friendly. And most of us love the royal family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. And you've got this? Explain what this is.
This is my album that I've recorded. I'm going to give it to him.
Oh, nice.
And I just want to say I watch you all the time.
Oh,
so,
thank you
nice
so
to
much.
meet you.
Appreciate it. I see your King Charles III flag.
Yes. Yeah.
And are you excited to see King Charles? Did you see him?
Yes, I am. I've seen him quite a few times, but I've never been this close.
Oh, wow. And what's it like being this close to him?
Wow, amazing. Amazing.
met
Originally
Will.
being from Morecambe, but I live in Germany, so...
Oh, okay. But so you're from this part of the world anyway, yeah.
Yes.
So how excited is it excited are you even that he's here in Lancashire?
It's really great. I only got to know a few days ago from my friends, and I thought, right, I'm visiting my mum, but I'm coming here.
And if you get a chance to speak to him, what will you say?
Wishing him health and happiness. Good health for the whole family.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Really appreciate it. Hello, sir. I see you've got a Union flag hat on. Do you mind if we have a chat with you? Yes. I'm sorry, no escape. You're trapped behind a barrier, so you're going to have to speak to me. No, absolutely. Yeah, very well, thank you. So, of course, you've seen King Charles already.
Yes,
Are you excited to perhaps get a chance to speak to him?
Very excited indeed, yeah. Definitely worth the wait if we get that opportunity, yeah.
And what does it mean to you that he's here in Lancaster?
I just think it's nice for them, we don't get a lot of the royal family coming up to the north, so, when they can come and we've got a chance to meet them and see them, I think it's fantastic for the north, yeah.
And of course, King Charles is still undergoing his cancer treatment, but he's here, he's still going strong.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and, some of our family have got the same issues as King Charles has, so it's good for that, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And what do you hope he takes away from Lancaster? What's the kind of message you think people are...
I just hope he sees it's a friendly city, a lot of people out here to support him. I just hope goes back with some great memories, yeah, like I will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you get a chance to speak to him. Thank you. Appreciate it. And should we have a chat with you since you've got little flags here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So are you from Lancaster?
No, just Polton-a-Fylde on the Fylde coast.
Okay, so not too far from here. Amazing. So how excited are you that King Charles is here?
Absolutely can't wait. Me and my colleague were both at the coronation, so we thought we've got to come and support him up in Lancaster as well. Yes.
And I see you're right at the front of the barrier. Does this mean you were here first?
Yep. One of the first. Colleague here was here at 5 o'clock. We arrived sort of a couple of hours later.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That's a lot of dedication.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's worth the wait. Absolutely worth the wait.
So you were down at the coronation. How long were you queuing for there? Were you out on the Mall?
We slept on the street. Out. Yeah, we were just by Admiralty Arch. We managed to see everything.
Yeah.
And we got ourselves on Sky News because we were catapulted by the horse.
Oh gosh.
The royal
we got
horse.
ourselves on the news, didn't we?
Well, it's a great memory for you anyway. Yeah. So you didn't have to camp out here last night.
No.
We just came early this morning on the train.
Amazing. And if you get a chance to speak to King Charles, what will you say to him?
Hope he's doing well, and it's just amazing that he's
Nice
here.
to meet
Yeah,
you.
nice to support him. Yeah.
Croquet for Chester Croquet Club, and of course the King has big connections with the Duke of Westminster there, so often the royals visit Chester. My mum lives in Chester, so on a Thursday night when I leave work at Egg Cup here, which is a food bank in town, I drive to Chester, I play croquet over the weekend, and I come back to Lancaster on a Monday. So of course I had to buy a Chester hat, and I obviously love the royals. Met the Queen when she came to Preston and made the city. Made Preston a city, so I got to meet her because I was working for the council. I also got a letter for in Storm Desmond, you know, with the flooding.
Yes,
Because I was the only emergency response officer who got to the Saltaire. So yeah, and I've written to the Queen. And I love anything to do with the royals, to be fair. I've met these fantastic people here. This is Pam, who's a student
Pam,
from
nice
China,
to see
who's
you.
at
Hello.
UCLan. Oh, sorry.
Hi.
It's all right, I'll grab you this.
She's studying game design at UCLan, and these are all from Lancaster University.
Nice, hello, amazing. So what is it about obviously King Charles being here? Does that excite you? What kind of message does that send to the people here, do you think?
Well, I think if you watch a lot of the history programmes, I didn't do history at school, I hated it, but I started watching The Crown, Bridgerton, and the Rude King Henry VIII series. And I started getting into history. Now, I've always loved the royal family because my dad, my grandma, my granddad and great aunt were in the RAF, so we've always saluted the Queen's portrait. The Queen has been the patron saint of croquet, not patron saint, the patron of croquet, and so is King Charles has taken that role. So basically Southport Hut have a big picture of him. I'm steeped in royalty, you know, I just absolutely love it. I'm very upset that the auntie lot are here. If they don't like the King, why have they come? But yeah, I've come. This will be my first chance to see the King. I saw Diana in a car in Lytham St Anne's, whiz past.
Nice.
Princess Anne met my mum when she did Riding for Disabled in Chester, but this will be the first time I've seen Charles. I love his eco-ethics, the fact that I'm an environmentalist, so I love the fact that he promotes sustainable farming. He's come on the train. I love Camilla, Queen Camilla, because she's adopted dogs from Battersea. You know, they're just right on as a royal pair, aren't they? It's not just the fact he's the king. I liked him as prince.
And if you get a chance to meet him, what will you say to him?
Will he come for a pint at the John O'Gaunt with me? Yeah. That he is related down the line.
That's what we like to hear. And obviously you mentioned the anti-monarchy protesters. Do you think it kind of spoils the day when they're here?
It really does, because when I was a steward, when the Queen came to Preston in 2000, there were none of those. People camped overnight to watch her. I came last night, there was not one person camping here. So maybe Lancaster's more chilled, but there was no anti-monarchy protests. And why are they here, ruining it for everybody? I'm really glad they didn't ruin it during the Fiji songs, because that would have been very upsetting. So they showed some respect there. But it ruins it for children, for families. These people, they don't understand why are they here. If they don't like the King, don't turn up. Simple as.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to me. What was your name?
Sarah Clements.
Sarah Clements. Lovely to meet you, Sarah.
You
Thank
too.
you so
Thanks
much.
very
Thank
much.
you. Lovely
Thank
to meet you
you.
all. Hope it goes well.
Not my king! 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 Down with the crown! Down with the crown! Down with the crown! Down with the crown! Down with the crown!
Do you mind if we have a chat? Is that all right? Thank you. We'll be on breakfast.
Said he'll take this off me if I use it again, so I thought I'd start using it.
Okay, fair enough. So, what's not allowing you to use that?
Huh?
Are they not allowing you to use the megaphone?
No, we're allowed to use it, yeah. I wasn't thinking. That's some bloke.
So I'm told you were the first one here. Same old drill. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you come to a lot of the away days, don't you, when they're announced?
Yeah. When we've done quite a lot recently. We were in Hexham last week. We were at Durham and Middlesbrough just recently. So yeah, we're basically trying to make sure where they are. If we've got enough notice, then we'll get there.
Yeah. And you saw the King go in, did you? Does he ever acknowledge you when you see when he?
Well, he couldn't miss us this time because he literally drove straight past us, looking out the window this side of the car. So yeah, he definitely knows we're here. I mean, the one thing they're good at is ignoring people they don't want to talk to. So they do usually do that, but he definitely knows we're here and hears what we're saying.
And you've approached Buckingham Palace, haven't you, in the past for a meeting or something?
From time to time, yeah. But we've recently written to the Duchy of Lancaster, asking them to be honest about who owns it and to stop suggesting that it is the private property of Charles, which it isn't. So they've ignored that letter, but that's one reason why we're in Lancaster particularly.
Presumably you've got a problem with it being the Duchy of Lancaster, his private finance, his private...
I mean, the Duchy belongs to us as a state asset, and yet we allow them to take £27 million of profit from the Duchy.
I've
Which,
just
you know,
spoken
this
to the
is
police.
a.
I would rip that out of your hands, but they would arrest me. So that's
Good.
the only reason.
Good. I'm glad of
That's-
that,
well,
because you're intolerant and unpleasant. So why don't you leave us
Oh
alone?
dear, I will do. Yes.
Right,
But
goodbye.
I'm just giving the
Right,
opinion.
anyway,
of
we're doing an
We'll do a
interview.
quick chat. Thank you. And the next one is going to, and obviously, well, we just saw kind of an instance about, I've spoken to people over there who are disappointed, let's say, but you are here. What's your message
Yeah, well,
to
I'm
the
disappointed
supporters?
that Charles is here. I'm disappointed he's ripping us off £27 million from Lancaster, £500 million every year. You know, protest is not only legitimate and reasonable, it's absolutely necessary when we're challenging an institution like the monarchy. And there will be a bunch of people here that don't care. There was standing next to a lovely monarchist just along here who was, we were having a nice chat, and she's absolutely on our side for in terms of the right to protest. So, you know, people have different views. The woman that we just saw here, there's a very small minority who are just quite unpleasant and intolerant of people who disagree with them. It's a tiny minority here. Most people are just absolutely fine with it.
And just a quick word on Trooping the Colour, of course, next week. Will you be down there protesting?
Yes, we are. We are protesting Trooping the Colour again. So, and we've chatted to the Royal Parks and the police, so we've made it clear what we're planning to do, and hopefully we'll be having a bigger crowd outside below the balcony when they come out.
Great, thanks so much,
Cool.
Graham. Appreciate
Nice.
it.
Thank
Hope
you.
it goes all right. Some more instance.
Gillian Hall, Butlers Farmhouse Cheeses. I am third generation owner, and I have a title of Guardian of Great Cheese.
Amazing. So, third generation of a British Butlers Cheese house. What was it? Farmhouse cheeses. So how long's it been going? What kind of cheeses do you do? How popular is it? Where do you sell them?
So in 1932, my granny and granddad, Richard and Annie Butler, set up the business. They bought a farm and we took it over. My mum took it over in 1969, and the recipe that we make today is her recipe. So that's 56 years old now, and that's our Lancashire, our traditional Lancashire. In 2002, we introduced a new cheese called Black Sticks, and Black Sticks is a soft, creamy, continental style blue. So very much different from what the British knew as Stilton, and very much more of the easy-to-eat continental style cheese, and it has taken the world by storm. So that was the first soft blue cheese in the UK. And then we bought some goats, so we now have 1,000, and we make a cheese called Kidderton Ash. And just in the last couple of years, we started making sheep's cheese. So we've got a sheep's cheese called Parlick, which is after our local fell.
So you have dairy cows, goats and sheep.
We don't personally have sheep, but we have dairy cows and goats. You're absolutely right. We have 1,000 goats, 600 cows, and we buy 80% of the UK's sheep milk. So we would like to have some sheep one day. If you would like to be a sheep farmer, there is a market for your milk.
Well, my knowledge of farming is Clarkson's Farm, I'm horrified to say. What do you... I mean, is that what...
That's actually done a good job for farming because it's spotlighted the trials and tribulations, especially the weather. That is a real thing with farmers, and I think that's what gives us the resilience. Certainly, after the fire, one of the things that got us back up and running was our local farmers, because they're just used to coping with whatever the world throws at them.
So did you have a fire in your farmhouse? Or?
We had a major fire in November 23, which took 90% of our buildings out and 90% of our cheese stock just before Christmas. So our cheese melted, our equipment melted, and we were just left with our cheese vats. But luckily, that is what we need to keep going. So with no cheese to sell that Christmas, but we did have the ability to keep taking the milk from the farmers and making it into cheese. And a local business, Andrew Hall from Spa, from James Hall, he actually said to us 2 or 3 days after the fire, if you need any cold storage, because that's what had burnt down, I've got capacity. You can use it for whatever. I'll send a wagon, free of charge. Don't worry about it until you get back up on your feet. A couple of months, and then we started to make it into a commercial arrangement. But that generosity of another local family business, together with our local farmers and community, that's what got us going again.
Supporting each other, and must have taken a big financial hit with that.
Huge. And obviously we did have insurance, and that is a very time-consuming job. So we had to be very careful to settle insurance quickly so that we could get back to running our business, because we had 100 people who relied on us and all our farmers who needed to keep supplying milk. All the cows keep milking.
Yeah. But June 2025, you are here in Lancaster Castle with the King. What was it like showing him the cheeses you sell and just being in the presence of the monarch?
It was a real privilege and it was a real boost after the trauma we've had of the last 16, 17 months, obviously. He said he really liked creamy Lancashire on digestive biscuits, and I said, well, funny that, because we actually sent some to your mum, Queen Elizabeth, in the early 80s for her Silver Jubilee, and we sent some again for her Platinum in August 22, just before she died. So it was a really nice link that there had been that connection with his mum.
Oh, that's incredible. And what was his reaction to that?
He said, send me some.
We have to do that, yeah.
So, of course, and he was very interested in the sheep's milk cheese as well, because that's a new industry for the UK, and it's a very good cheese-making milk, which he knew. He is so educated. He knew that it was a higher fat and protein content milk. He knew it made really good cheese. Absolutely. Incredible knowledge.
And do you get the sense that he is really kind of appreciative of UK farming and also having, as you said, that knowledge of it?
He's really good at supporting traditional British crafts. And obviously, as a farmhouse traditional cheesemaker, we are in that category. And he understands farming. He understands that we have to look after the land in order to look after the produce that it makes, one of which is milk. So, yes, he does very much appreciate and champion British craft and British artisan food and the circular economy. He was very interested in sustainability and resilience, but the whole end-to-end supply chain and the circular economy, which farmers are so very good at. He was passionate about that.
Gillian, thank you very much. That's amazing. Thank you. Well, I'm here with Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses, who were lucky enough to present a number of your products to His Majesty the King here today at Lancaster Castle. What's your name?
Alice.
Alice?
Yes.
And what's your name?
I'm Jill.
You're Jill. Lovely to meet you both. And you presented Trotter this one to the King, didn't you?
We did, yes. So this is our creamy Lancashire, 50-year-old family recipe that's being passed down. And yes, we let him have a little snip of this today. Yes.
But he wasn't allowed to try it, was he?
He wasn't allowed to try it, sadly, but we've given him a little goodie bag to take away with him, so fingers crossed.
Good. And a family recipe. 3 generations, is it, Jill?
It is. It's actually going into 4th generation because my sons are just in the process of taking over now. So the day work, all the hard work is now done by them, and I get to do nice things like meeting the King.
Amazing. Perfect.
Actually, this cheese we did present to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth in August 22, and King Charles was very interested in that story, that she'd tasted it first in the 80s, and then again for her Platinum Jubilee.
And it's made of cow's milk, is it?
Yes.
Okay, should I give it a little bit of a try
Yeah, go
and see what
for
it
it.
tastes like? Thank you very much. Okay, so just like that. Looks very lovely.
It's much yellower than a normal Lancashire because it's made much slower and it's made by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that creamy yellow colour, not the white acid crumbly that you sometimes associate with Lancashire. It's quite different. If you look for the farmhouse traditional Lancashire, it's quite a different product, which I know is confusing to consumers.
Yeah.
But you should be able to keep tasting it here.
Yes, I was going to say, it's very creamy. I can still taste it, and I can still taste it now. And as you say, it's right at the back of the throat, really.
Mm-hmm.
Really lovely, really kind
A
of
little bit
satisfying.
savoury.
Yeah, really savoury. I can imagine it. What's the best biscuit to have with it?
So actually, King Charles said he would like it on a digestive biscuit, and that's how he's going to try the sample that we've sent him, because that sweetness contrasts with the savouriness,
Yes.
and it's a real perfect combination.
So I had no idea that you could have cheese with digestive biscuits, so now I really want to try that at home. You're looking at me shocked.
Wait until you try. So we've got Black Six Blue, that's our blue cheese.
Okay.
Black Six Blue, a ginger biscuit, and black currant jam.
I'm going to have to write all this down. Black currant jam, ginger
It will
biscuit.
change the game. It's wonderful.
Really? And
yeah.
this is the cheese you're talking about?
Yes, this is Black Six Blue.
So it's an orange-blue cheese.
Great Taste Award as well.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Which is quite unusual for a blue cheese to have an orange colour, but that's what makes it quite memorable, and also quite good in cooking because you get this beautiful colour in your cheese sauces or anything else that you use it with.
And how long does it take to make?
This one takes 12 to 20 weeks, depending on the maturity that we want to sell it at.
Lovely. Okay.
So it's what we call a cheese for people who say, I don't like blue cheese. And it's a real crowd pleaser, this one. So they taste this and they say, oh, wow, that's changed my mind about blue cheese.
It's interesting you say that. So I love blue cheese.
Okay.
I love all cheeses.
Yeah.
But I can see why it would satisfy people who usually don't like blue cheese. It's not as harsh, is it?
That's right.
No,
It's not
Yeah.
harsh.
creamier.
Not acid,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
bitter. Whereas a Stilton is more traditional British blue cheese, but it's firmer and more, it's sharper.
Yeah.
And this is a more continental style blue cheese, so it's a lot gentler on your palate.
And what is it, do you think, about Lancashire that creates these most amazing cheeses, in your company in particular?
I think that is told by the story of the weather. So we have been really lucky for the King's visit not to have it raining, but we have more. Lancashire has 2 towns, Lancaster and Preston, which are the wettest in the county. And our dairy and the cheese-making area is situated right in the middle of those 2 towns. So we're in the wettest part of the county. And there's 5 dairies around us. There's no others in Lancashire. They're all around Beacon Fell. And that is because the high rainfall makes great grass. Great grass makes great cheese.
And of course, really great cheese, because it is very popular brands, right?
Yeah, definitely. So Black Sticks is in majority of retailers at the minute. We also have it in wholesalers, farm shops. So yeah, incredibly popular.
Yes.
It's definitely the one where people say, "Oh, I know Black Sticks." So yeah, definitely the standout name.
And soon to be in King Charles's pantry as well.
Well, there was none left on the tasting table today when we'd opened a Black Sticks. So it was, proof is in the pudding when people are all coming back for more.
Perfect. Well, thank you for speaking to me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Cameron Walker for GBN Royal. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.